I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.
Welcome to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels while sharing faves and going feral for Ilya Rozanov. Hey HBs, it's a huge day over here. I mean, years in the making. Before we get to that though, we're back to our regular bonus episode schedule. This Friday on Patreon and our Apple Podcast subscription, Sabrina is giving us quickies on the first two books in Lorraine Heath's London's Greatest Lovers series. Those are the books that come before Waking Up with the Duke. Y'all, these books are so bananas. I mean, misunderstandings galore, second chances, amnesia. Heath did not hold back. We've got some wonderful people who have joined our Patreon community recently, and I'm delighted to be able to shout them out. Welcome, you wonderful little morsels of sweet potato pie. Jen, Sam T, Fetishist, Raina R, Brandy, Morgan M, and Hannah F. Okay, speaking of Patreon, this week we're celebrating the debut of the television show Heated Rivalry, based on the book by Rachel Reid, which we are in fact recapping today. That's the big day. That's the whole deal. It's one of Sabrina's favorite ever. She's talked about it for years. So this Sunday, we have a live watch party on Patreon. That's Sunday, December 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Mark your calendars, y'all, okay? I cannot wait to see these characters brought to life and by a team who really understands and values the romance genre. You know what I mean? It's just palpable. So then the recap that I'm doing right now, that I'm introducing to you right now, oh god, I'm a bit of a mess at the moment thinking about all these things. Okay, this is actually going to be a 2-week event, partially because this is the energy I come at the episode with. So really, nobody can hold me back. So, here's part 1 of 4 of our recap of Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reid. Sabrina, I have notes.
I
noticed.
I was in the drive earlier today, and it said,
"Drive? Get out of the drive! What are you doing there? It was going to be a surprise, Sabrina."
I saw it, and I was actually, that's hilarious, because I was about to, I love that was your first statement, because my first statement, if I had gotten to it first, was going to be, listener, I have news.
Yeah, big
Melody
news.
has notes.
Extra. Read all about it.
To be fair, this is a book that you kind of need notes, because the timeline is bananas. Yes. Okay, listener, I'm going to give you this lowdown right now. I am so fucking excited about this. We are doing Heated Rivalry today by Rachel Reid.
Yeah.
And I have been stopping myself all year that Melody has been in, because it's not really, it's angsty MM. It's angsty hockey, but it's like...
It's not angsty, but it's not fluff, for sure.
It's not fluffy. It's not the hole you've been in all year, but it's still... I knew that it was still scratch that itch, though, because it's so fucking good. And it's all so good. Year, you're like going down these rabbit holes, and I was like, it's a 5-star rec. Don't fucking harass her into reading this yet. We're just not at that point yet. We're not there yet.
And then Canada came to the rescue. All right? Canada, thank you.
Fucking I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a secret, listener. This is technically a 5-star rec, so I did put it on the Patreon poll because that is how things work. Yeah. Well, even if all of you patrons had not voted for Heated Rivalry, we would still be recording this episode because... It
would be a staff pick at that point.
Melody, I wish you could experience the joy that I felt when you messaged me. We've been talking about this. I'm at a hockey point in my life because I'm going to games every weekend. I'm reading Heated Rivalry. All of my...
this has been one of your favorite... You've squawked about this on the podcast for literal years.
Literal years.
Ilya Rozanov.
I almost wore my Ilya shirt today. I have an Ottawa Center shirt that has Rozanov on the back, and I almost wore it, but I didn't because it's chilly. It started to cool down here, so I am sweatered up.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's a comfort reason, then fine. Otherwise, I was going to fillet you right here on podcast for making that choice.
No.
Okay, that's fair.
It is dirty because it's one of my most frequently worn shirts.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of the 2 rabbit holes, right, or my recent rabbit holes, I actually have notes for 2 reasons. The first is that just like from a brain standpoint, from like a context, figuring out how much time has been jumped and like all the business, because every single chapter in this book starts with a date and a region, a date and a location of like where we are right now. And there are a couple of 2-year jumps that I didn't realize it was like 2 actual years, when I first read through it.
Well, yeah, because the meat of this book, they've known each other for 7-8 years. Like,
it's bananas. Well, and then the other reason that I needed notes is because I recently discovered, no thanks to any HB out there, all right? I've already called them out on the Discord. It's fine. We're okay. But no HBs told me that Stubborn Puck Boy came out. All right? And that is also a Russian and American, or not also, but like it's a Russian and like English speaking pair.
Oh.
And so that's been very, in my melatonin haze while reading that with my eyeballs at night. I needed to make sure I knew which Russian I was talking about.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we have to jump right in because this could be a 4-week event.
We can't do this as a 4-week event because we're basically already doing a 4-week event because we have to, we're recording this prior to everything being figured out, but just a heads up, on Patreon, we will be doing...
We're scheming some Heated Rivalry viewing parties,
stuff.
Perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps.
We'll figure it out.
We're trying to figure out how to make that work.
Patrons, keep your eye out.
Yeah. But on top of that, the end of the year, listener, the last episode of this year is going to be the long game. We're gonna finish up our Shane Hollander, Ilya Rozanov extravaganza. Okay, I have to know just baseline. You loved Book, right? Book was amazing.
Oh, I loved Book.
I knew it.
I am wondering though, I can't wait to get the context because listener, the only way that I managed to keep my shit together and not either start at the beginning of this series or move immediately to long game before recording is by just listening to it 3 times instead of moving anywhere else. So I don't quite understand. Is it because this couple became a fan favorite that long game came out? Or do you know if she planned that from the beginning? Because no other couples in this series get a follow-up, and this is the second book. It's such a random book to do a follow-up on.
It's kind of wibbly wobbly. I don't know that specifically, right?
Okay.
Because I wasn't as, I guess, plugged in.
Plugged in.
Yeah, like plugged in. And also, like, I've just never been a huge social media person. And I definitely wasn't really following her on social medias. And like, because like I would go down rabbit holes and I'd be obsessed with an author. But if it wasn't in it, this is going to make me sound like an ancient millennial. But like if it's not in a newsletter to my email, I probably don't know, you know?
Okay.
Or it's not a blog post on their website. So,
well, HBs, if you know, let us know.
I will say, because somebody did ask in Discord when you were talking about it in general chat, somebody made or not ask, but they made a comment about waiting on the 7th book in the series that comes after Long Game, et cetera, with a different character that pops up towards the end of the series. And I did share the link, and I'll send you the link so you can put it in show notes. But Rachel Reid has come out to say that's not happening. She explains why. It's a really lovely blog post explaining, like, it just didn't work. The long
the
game
7th
is
book?
the long game
that
is
makes
the
sense.
end.
Yeah.
The long game's the end. Like because we get to see not every single character from the other books in the end of Long Game. And we'll end up talking about this when we actually read and record on
do
Long
our
Game.
Public episode.
And then, and then of note, we will also be doing the rest of the Game Changer series on Patreon in 2 parts.
Once I start humping them.
Yeah.
Humph.
I haven't decided if I'm going to reread all of them because there's a lot of things that I want to be reading right now. And this is the series I've probably reread the most. But also, I don't know, after reading this book and seeing some of the characters, even though I make fun of Scott Hunter and Kip, or you don't know Kip yet, but Scott Hunter and his boyfriend all the time, like, I make fun of that book. It's like, it's a good book, right? It's a fine book, but it's it's not the rest of the series.
Okay.
And so, like, I am obsessed with the rest of the series.
I mean, I can't wait to read Ryan Price's book, That Poor Anxious Enforcer. What a sweetie pie.
Ryan?
What a sweetie pie reading his Anne of Green Gables for comfort on a plane.
Melody, you are
wait.
Melody, you're going to be so in. I was thinking that while reading this. I was like, Melody, when she gets to Ryan's book, is going to be so in love with this man that it's
I think I'm going to lose my ever-loving mind.
I think that it's going to be an unhealthy obsession.
He's such a Care Bear. You know, just wrapped in this, like, tough, punching exterior.
Oh, my God. And he's just a big old fucking redheaded monster on the ice.
Yeah.
And he's so sweet. You're going to love his partner. Like,
oh, I bet. Anybody who deserves Ryan Price, I feel like is going to be a banger.
No, Melody,
you know?
I need you to understand. You're going to be feral. Okay. Let's just hop right in because otherwise this is going to turn, like you said, this is going to turn into a 4-week thing, and it's already
we don't have time
essentially a 2-week thing because we've already decided that we're doing both books. So we get introduced in like way back in the we start with the prologue. We start with the prologue.
Wait, the prologue. Okay, wait. So the prologue, really, it is the most genius framing for the rest of the book because I was such a sick, angsty mess for the first, like, third of this book. Simply because in this prologue, we see, like, you know, it's from Shane's perspective. He's the Canadian boy. There's Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov. And the prologue is from Shane's perspective. They fucking lose to Boston, which is bullshit for everyone, all right? And he's, like, talking about, he finds out that, like, this, you know, Russian fuckface said some bullshit about him on the media, like to the media or whatever. And it's, you know, things are pretty clear. But then he goes like to this fuck pad that we find out he buys just to hook up with Ilya. We don't know that at this point.
So into it when he finds out. He's like, you bought me a building to fuck you in.
Yeah.
We're jumping ahead, listener.
I'm so sorry. We gotta cool our jets. But anyway, he goes to this building and, like, sits down and has a beer and, like, he's contemplating all of his life choices because he waits for like a full 40 minutes for whoever's gonna show up to show up.
And the whole time he's like, I should just sell this place. This is the last time.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just leave. Maybe I shouldn't
I can't
even be
do this
here
anymore.
Like, I'm done. I sell
This
the
is
building.
fucking humiliating.
I should just get rid of it and all of those things. And then knock.
Oh. And then knock. And it's so sweet because when Ilya comes in, like this is on the second read, I realized this, right?
God, I would give so many things to be able to reread this book for the very first time. It's been so many years, and I don't even remember what that's like because like I know like
yeah. So Ilya walks in, and at first Shane is like, what the fuck took you so long? Because they're very combative, okay? And Ilya at first is his like fuckboy self, and he goes, oh, we had to celebrate. We like had a big win tonight, didn't you know? And Shane's just like, you fucker. And the look on his face makes Ilya get a little bit more serious, and he goes, I couldn't find a time to get away. This was the earliest I could get away. And then Shane just pounces and kisses him. And like when you first read it through, both of those sound like throwaway comments. But on the second read, I'm like, oh, this is Ilya's version of care. You know? Like, this is a guard coming down, and it only comes down for Shane. You know?
Yes, because Ilya, to be clear, listener, Ilya Roznov, sexiest Russian fictional hockey player that's ever existed. His love language is trolling and teasing, and like
I was a mess the whole book.
He's so hot. And like I crack jokes that like, Shane, you're so boring, but like he and Ilya are they're so cute together.
They're so cute.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
I mean, it is an opposites attract book that everybody from the outside, I mean, it's so easy for these two to sneak around because nobody would ever put them together in any way. That's regardless of the rivalry that gets set up from day one,
so
right?
I'm gonna give you some backstory real quick, listener. Just
okay.
a quick run through. So Shane Hollander is from Ottawa. He is basically the best teen hockey player in the country.
Ever.
He has been forever. And then on the flip side, Ilya Roznov is the exact same thing in Moscow and Russia. Okay.
Yeah.
And so they end up meeting for the first time when they are 17 years old. They are against each other in the
World Junior Championships.
That thing. And it's like their first time going up into it. They're not even like their next year is going to be the draft. Everyone's already talking about this draft and how it's going to be like the hockey community is already talking about Shane Hollander.
Yeah.
And Ilya Roznov. The rivalry between them has begun before they ever even meet, before they're ever drafted, before they're ever. It's just like
it is manufactured from the outside, and then these two just sort of like fall into it. Well, wait, can I be a dick? I'm really sorry. There was one other thing I wanted to say about the prologue because it really did impact the emotional state I was in of the first third.
Yeah, go for it. Well, okay. Like, there are a lot of things that I think that you are going to bring to this episode that I just can't bring to this episode because me rereading this book was very much like going home for the holiday. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up here. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, I know all of these things. Like, oh, you think it's weird that there's this thing in that corner? Oh, that's just where that weird thing in the corner is.
Yeah,
what do you mean? Why are you
That's
confused
just visual
by
noise
that?
now.
Yeah, like I live here, and so
No, I hear you.
There's a lot of things that you're gonna clock. I'm 100%. It's too long.
Well, I'm also I'm also going to clock it in Shane's perspective because while trolling is my love language, it's a little bit harder for me to get it dished back depending on the situation. You know what I mean? I'm a sensitive little kitty cat over here.
To be clear, this is definitely not a book I can self-insert into either character in, which is delightful, and I love that in a romance novel. I can't relate to either of these characters at any point in this entire book, except unfortunately, whenever Shane is like, oh God. All of Shane's anxieties, like I would also, if I was a millionaire, buy a building because I'm too anxious to bring him home. I would absolutely, I'd be like, oh God, I can't bring him back to my condo or my apartment or my house. So like, I guess I'm going to have to buy a building and renovate it for the next 7 years while I get my back blown out.
Exactly. Whoops. It's the only logical conclusion.
This is the only option. It's either that or I buy a private island and I get him a personal jet. Like, I don't know what and a pilot's license so that he doesn't even have to, the pilots don't even have
Nobody
to know.
can know. All right.
Yeah. Except
and
then
you
have
fake
to
documents
then you
for
have
the
to make,
FAA or whatever.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Because then you have to worry about flight plans and things like that. And oh God, now it's getting really complicated. But like, I guess if I'm a millionaire, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Anyway, so the thing that really got me in this first prologue scene when Ilya shows up, like I love it because Shane talks about how it's always like really combative between the two of them because they're like throwing each other up against walls and like making out really hard and doing all the things. But then once they get into the bedroom, Ilya starts like goading Shane a little bit and he's like, oh, this is what you wanted, right? You've been like, just thirsting for my cock all day, right? And Shane, in this whole scene, from the time he's drinking a beer on the couch waiting for him until Ilya, like, finally leaves at the end of the allotted hour they have to, like, steal to be alone together, he's, like, going through this power struggle in his own mind of, like, do I just give in and tell him, yes, he's right, that's exactly what I want, or, yes, of course, I've been craving you all day. Because it's humiliating, right? And so there's always this undertone of like greasy shame and humiliation throughout this whole scene that then carried over for me once we rewound. And like to the point that we're going to talk about a few different events where like one of them wins or the other of them wins. And every single time Ilya won, I like felt really bad for Shane because it was clear that he does not have the upper hand in this relationship.
Man, but guess what? Ilya loves that hate fuck when Hollander takes all of his rage out on Razumov.
Yeah. They both love it. I mean, they both love it. But going from the prologue into like them being sweetie baby 17-year-olds, I don't know that yet, you know? Anyway, so I'm sorry. We're going back to the Junior World Championships. And Ilya, like, walks in with the Russian team as the Canadians are out there playing. And he's like, nobody has names on the back of their jerseys, so I can't even pick out who he is. But then later on, he sees somebody he thinks is him in the stands.
Well, there's also, let me just, this is what I was popping in to explain so we don't end up going down like huge rabbit holes. There's going to be some family stuff that comes up way later in the book, but we cannot dwell on how shitty Ilya's family is and how good Shane's family is. And so Shane is a single child. He was raised by his two parents. His mother is a hockey fanatic. His dad is just along for the ride and enjoys that. And they're so supportive. They show up to everything. Like, they are always there. They're even here for this junior
They travel with him.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, on the flip side, Ilya's dad is just a fucking nightmare. So like we're going to find this out later, but like I said, I'm just going to give it to you now. He is in the beginning stages / middle stages of Alzheimer's. Like later in the book, he is a police chief in Russia at the time, and like
very traditional, very into the anti-gay laws. He very into all that.
Yes, and then on top of that, Ilya's brother Andre is a piece of shit. He's also a police officer over in Russia who is big into gambling, and it's like everyone's like it's just not great. It's not good. Ilya has a terrible time over there, and he has a terrible family, frankly. Also, importantly, content warning. His mother killed herself when she was younger. That does get talked about in this book, and things like that. And it becomes a very important point at the end of this book, which is the reason I'm bringing it up, other than to just give y'all a content warning that it's discussed and it's fucked up.
It's awful. Yeah.
So Ilya is here alone, and he was basically, his father doesn't even watch his hockey games, but if he loses, he gets berated. If he wins, then it's like, okay, well, obviously that's what you should have done.
That's the baseline.
Yeah. So that's
and you probably
the
also did
backstory.
something wrong there that a teammate, saved you on.
Yeah.
It's such bullshit. Yeah. So anyway, he looks up into the stands and he sees them and he's like, I think that's probably him, but like, whatever. I don't have time for that. I'm here to win a tournament because I'm the best in the whole wide world, Ilya says to himself. And so also he's a 17-year-old smoker, which I had a hard time with this whole book, him being like an occasional smoker. I hated it. But he goes outside. I know. I'm very predictable in that way.
I was into it.
But he goes outside to smoke. Gross.
Well, I was like specifically into it, not from a prior smoker thing, but like from it fits his character for sure. It does.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it fits Shane's character that, like, he nags him about it a little bit sometimes.
Oh, yeah. It's nag on page. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. But anyway, he's out there smoking, and the first nag on page is this guy approaches him, and he's like, hey, the smoking area is actually over there out in the cold, like the bus stop looking thing over there, so, like, you should probably
you see that
go.
giant snowdrift over there? Why don't you just go, like, dig yourself a hole in there and smoke and die in your lung cancer, all those things. That's not what he says, obviously, but, like, Ilya's like, fucking America, like, fuck this,
I know,
or
this
fucking North America,
country.
This is stupid. But so
and
he just lights
up right there. Yeah. And Shane is like, you're Ilya Rosnoff and I'm Shane Hollander. And Ilya's like, uh-huh. And so Shane like holds out his hand and Ilya very begrudgingly shakes his hand. And then Shane's like, you're such a great player to watch. Like, you're really fun to watch.
I'm such a gremlin because I've watched the trailer for the new show so many times that I could picture this scene. Like, because I don't picture characters, and like, I don't picture characters the way that some people do, but like this specific scene, because now I have witnessed this scene in that trailer, I can see him leaning against the wall with his...
Did you see that the actors got matching tattoos? They got coordinated tattoos.
Oh my God, stop!
Each of them is on their leg. The guy who plays Shane, his is just a line of text that says sex sells. And then on the guy who plays Ilya, his leg is a heart. And inside it says sex sells.
That's super cute.
They're fucking adorable. And they're like relative unknowns. This is their very first. Like, both of them break out. So nobody knows anything about them. I have no idea, like, obviously, I started Google stalking them, right? Nobody knows anything about them. It's fine. So anyway, Shane is like, you're a really fun player to watch. And Ilya's like, I know. Shane's like, okay. And in Ilya's head, he's like, if he thinks he's going to like get something like that back, he's going to keep waiting. And finally, Shane's like, okay, well, great to meet you. Goodbye. And goes to leave with his parents. And they're like, oh, yeah, you met him. How is he? And he's like, he's kind of a dick. And then Russia wins. And I was so sad for Shane because he made himself all vulnerable saying hi. And Ilya was just like such a dick nose to him. Such an arrogant.
So then it's.
Oh, but also, I'm so sorry. Also in this scene, Ilya notices his freckles for the first time. And
hey, listener.
He's so mad about the freckles.
Listener.
Yeah.
Are we You're not a listener. Hey, listener. Are we taking bets on if this ends up being a two-parter?
No, Sabrina. Get your shit together. We're on to Los Angeles, June 2009, and I would like for you to stop playing around, okay? Stop dawdling, Sabrina.
I feel like this is egotistical Puckboy all over again.
I do get a very specific flavor of feral, don't I?
I'm the one who's been I've been the one obsessed with this book for 5 years now, maybe.
Well, you have very good taste.
Yeah, I know. That's not true, but historically, but I don't know that I need to be here for this episode.
No, you do. You do. It's 6 months later. We're in Los Angeles for the hockey draft, all right? And the whole thing with Ilya was like, I'm going to do really good here so that I'll be the number 1 draft pick. That's Ilya's whole goal. But then...
Rosnov gets first.
No, Shane is first.
I'd literally have that highlighted because it was important.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. To Rosnov's right was a giant American defenseman named Sullivan who had been drafted 3rd overall by Phoenix. Rosnov had been drafted first. Shane had spent the 6 months, blah, 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 blah.
That's right. That's why I was so sad for Shane, because he lost again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, it feels so greasy and sticky in my heart.
Yeah, and then the most important part of this is Shane is bummed about it. He goes down to the gym. The most important part is that they're drafted to rival teams, Sabrina. This is true.
Yeah.
Rosnov gets drafted to the Boston Bears, which is hysterical because he already has a giant bear tattooed on his chest, and Shane gives him shit about it. He's like, oh yeah, I got that spirit, and Rosnov's like, I need you.
I got it for Russia.
To fuck off.
Yeah.
So and then he gets drafted to the Montreal Voyageurs, which are historically East Coast rival teams, huge rivalry. So that night, he is on the treadmill and he's just in his own little world. And then all of a sudden there's someone on the treadmill next to him and it's Rosnov and they're running. And then Rosnov ups his speed and Shane notices and is quiet for a second. And then he ups his speed. And then they keep doing that back and forth until they are both sprinting to the point of like borderline dying, and then Shane finally taps to like get
tossed off of the treadmill. Like one false move, and they go flying off the back of that treadmill.
Have you ever done that, Melody?
It's terrifying. No, I haven't actually done it. I've been close, and it is one of the scariest.
I was going too fast one time, and I stumbled. Let me tell you.
You got shot off the back of the treadmill.
It wasn't even that fast because I am not a runner. But like, when I tell you, I was trying one of those like preset things where it was like a light jog and then like a speed up and then back to a light jog. I'm glad there wasn't a wall. Because like I would have like a Looney Tunes character slammed right through that thing. You'd be able to see all of my limbs splayed out. It'd be a perfect hole right through that wall. Because like anyway, so they're doing that. They finally stop, and now they're like sitting on the floor, panting, dying, and all of a sudden Shane is like, "Oh no, this guy is super masculine."
He's
and kind of hot.
And like I feel like such a baby seal over here. I can't grow any facial hair. And like, but he's so
still got some
masculine and raw.
I still got some like baby cheeks going on over here. Meanwhile, this dude's over here sweating and looking like a 35-year-old Abercrombie model. Like, god damn it. And he thinks to himself, well, you've like kissed girls before and it was good. You've gotten blowjobs from girls and it was good. You've had sex with girls and it's fine.
Been fine.
And all of these things. And then you're half hard right now from sitting on the gym floor with another man. Okay. That one he couldn't explain. But he could get in the shower and jerk off and try like hell to think about his girlfriend or any girl. Anything other than those red, wet lips and that dark stubble and those hazel eyes. For the rest of his life, Shane Hollander would have to live with the fact that he had ended his NHL draft day by getting himself off to thoughts of Ilya Rosnov.
Oh my God. Well, because before that, Ilya was like, tempting him with a bottle of water. He was like, come hither to this bottle of water. And he very purposefully, we know that, Shane does not, because he's a sweet baby angel. But Ilya very purposely like touches their fingers together as they hand it back and forth. And Ilya is obviously like on the cusp of flirting with him.
Zach is in the room because there is a zip and there is a zap and there's a boner.
Oh, yeah. We find out later that Ilya was like so close to either kissing him or just like shoving him against a wall.
Well, yeah, because now we do full on zippy zap to another 6 months, 7 months later.
Yeah.
And it's the next, it's like the final, what is it?
It's the next Junior World Championship.
Yes.
And they're in Ottawa. So this is Shane Hollander's hometown. So Ilya shows up to this thing with his team. It's New Year's Eve. And he just sees Shane Hollander's face all over everywhere he goes. He can't get Shane Hollander's face out of his eye line. Yeah. And so he's like sulking in his room by himself, hearing like people outside doing the countdown. And then when it goes, he's like, Happy New Year to himself. And then in his inner monologue, it says, Ilya had more important things to think about than freckles and polite Canadian boys.
They're under each other's skin.
Yeah. And now Canada wins. And then I started feeling much better for Shane. Shane's getting, he's getting his licks in too. And Ilya thinks to himself that he can't wait for the real battle between them to begin next year.
Yes. So now they're signed, and now it is time they are both signed for their first endorsement deal because it's
the most consequential endorsement deal that's ever happened in the history of humankind, everyone, okay?
It is some kind of hockey company that wants both of them because they're already rival.
Because they're rivals.
It is already signed, sealed, delivered. Like there's no way for them to get out of this. Like they have no option but to be rivals.
Other than kiss on camera, and like that's not gonna happen.
No.
So anyway, part of this endorsement deal is them being in the face-off position, like holding that intense pose for as long as they possibly can. And they're just like staring into each other's eyes. And Shane's
from the
trying.
Trailer too. Fucking kill
I know.
Me. This is so.
And Shane's trying so desperately not to look at Ilya's lips, and it is the most. And then after they're done with everything,
shower times.
They are so dirty, Sabrina. Okay, they're so dirty, both of them. So they have to go take a shower.
And Shane's in the shower, and then Ilya comes in after him, and Ilya takes the stall directly across from him. And so when Shane turns around, he's like, oh my God, look at that back. And look at his wide shoulders. And then he realizes that he's hard, and he's like,
he's getting a chub. He's chubbing up.
This has never happened to me before. And then he notices Ilya has turned around.
And sees and is very excited about this semi that's happening over there.
Oh, yeah.
But in Shane's mind, he's like, he could beat the shit out of me right now. Like, this is a very precarious position to be in, obviously. And so Shane's like, shut up, I was thinking about something else. And Ilya's like, what were you thinking about? And then Shane notices that Ilya's getting hard. And then Ilya strokes his own cock right in front of him. And he's like, no, really, what were you thinking about? Tell me. And he gets a drooling Shane to say very quietly, you. And it is the most tension. Oh my God. And then as they're getting dressed, Shane goes out to be like, hey man, no big deal. It's fine. We can just, remember that
Ilya
never happens again.
What room number are you in? And Shane tells him. And Ilya's like, so would you be there if I showed up around 9 p.m.? And Shane's like, I might be. And then we cut to Shane. He is washed up. He has brushed and flossed his teeth. He has a baseball game on low on the TV. He's all dressed up, and he's like,
pacing.
Maybe I should just leave. Maybe I should just go. And then possibly. At like 7 minutes past 9, there's like knock knock, and Ilya is there, and he comes in, and
Shane tries to be like, oh yeah, I'm here because I just want to talk. Because Ilya says, I thought you would chicken out, and he's like, I just want to talk about, And then Ilya says,
what happened?
Oh, I know. No, he just says, and then Ilya says, oh, I know, and then goes up to him very slowly, and Ilya is like 4 inches taller than Shane, and so he tilts Shane's head up, and then just goes in for this very intense kiss.
And listen, there's making out. And then Shane is like, I wonder if I just could I just drop to my knees. How would Ilya feel about that?
And then he can't help himself.
And then he does.
Yeah.
And Ilya's like, oh, fuck yeah, Hollander. And Shane gives his first blowjob.
And it's so cute. At one point, he just ends up like standing still with Ilya's cock like halfway in his mouth, being like, this is so weird. I have a dick in my mouth, but I really like it. And he keeps on going. And he's like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like,
and then
I've
Ilya
gotten
stops
blowjobs.
him. Ilya stops him, and Shane's like, "Oh no, did I hurt you?" And Ilya's like, "No. It was that was too much.
It's too much."
And
Shane's like, "Oh my god, I thought I was doing so badly. This is amazing."
And then they're talking about it because he's like, "Have you ever done this with a man, like with a guy before?" And Shane's like, "No. Have you?" And Ilya clearly pauses. And then decides, like, well, I guess I'm here now. So, yes, the answer is yes. He shares that he fooled around with his coach's son and blah, blah, blah. And then
he says he's trying to explain why he was hooking up with the coach's son. And he's like, we were both. And Shane says, curious?
Yes.
And Ilya says, yeah,
curious.
Yeah.
And you make me curious. Oh. He leaned in and breathed against Shane's ear in his heavily accented English. Do I make you curious? Rosnov made Shane a lot of things. Confused, infuriated, terrified, aroused, and yes, curious. Obviously, Shane said a little irritably. Did you like sucking my dick? Oh, those English words you know? Rosnov licked under Shane's ear and Shane gasped. Did you like it? Rosnov asked again. Shane swallowed his saliva and his pride.
Yeah.
Yes? Would you like me to lie on the bed and let you do it some more? Let me? Rosnov chuckled against Shane's neck. I'm a nice guy.
I am nice guy. Oh my god.
Listen, I need you to know that this is a through line through the whole book of Ilya being like, yeah, I'll grace you with the presence of my penis.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
You're welcome.
At no point.
Welcome.
Yeah, like there's only like one or two points, and I mean like mere moments in this book when Shane has the upper hand, when like Ilya has done something vulnerable and is waiting for Shane to respond. It's like 2 times in the whole book. Otherwise, Shane is just like kind of panting and hating himself about it.
House.
Yeah.
At least as far as his emotions.
Oh, God. So Ilya lays down and he's like, I think this is kind of unfair. You should undress. And so Shane undresses, gets on the bed, and he's just sort of like laying like a log beside Ilya, looking at the ceiling. And Ilya gets up on his elbow and looks down on him, and they start talking more. And he is so sweet and slow. And he checks in with Shane so many times to be like, is this okay? Like, do you like it when I do this or whatever?
It's hilarious because Ilya is a sex god at going down, basically. And Shane's like, wow, this is literally life-changing.
Well, because Shane decides to like go down on him first, and he finishes up, and he
and Ilya
like,
says,
pulls
all right,
away.
good night. And Shane's like, what? And Ilya's like,
oh, did you need something?
Did you need something? And he's like, and he just like glares, and Ilya's like, I'm kidding. I would never leave you like that. Lay down, fucking. Just lay down,
Ilya
dude.
says, you think I'm an asshole. And then Shane goes, well, you are. And that's the best. Well, and Shane is like so kind of salty at the end because he thinks that Ilya is going to pull away when he comes like Shane did with Ilya. And then he's like, and instead he just drinks me down just to one-up me. Like there's bullshit that he's always trying to show me up no matter what we do. And then Ilya gets up, cleans up in the bathroom, and gets dressed, and is like, I'll see you, when I see you. And Shane is like, oh, yeah. And he thinks to himself that he feels kind of silly because a part of him kind of wanted Ilya to stay, and that's stupid. So. Yep.
So now we zippy zap again, and it is the first NHL game of Montreal against Boston. And the teams are like, all right, we'll give them what they want. So they are starting Shane and Ilya against each other, and they are facing off. So they have not talked once since this blowjob. Yeah. They have not talked once. And like, cause like, how could they? They don't have cell phone numbers.
They don't have any numbers.
They don't know each other. And then they're staring at each other. And Ilya, the crowd was so fucking loud. The city was nuts. Will you disappoint them, Hollander? Nope. They bent for the face-off. Ilya wished he didn't have the mouth guard in because he would have loved to do something distracting and sexy with his tongue. He probably should have been focusing more on the puck and less on bothering. He probably should have been focusing more on the puck and less on bothering Hollander because he lost their first face-off, and that was something he'd never get back.
Yeah! So Shane wins the face-off, and then also Boston loses their first game.
Yep.
And it's rough for old Ilya. And they can't contact each other. They can't do anything. And that chapter ends with his brother asking him for money. And Ilya's just like, God damn it. Like, other people, their family, like stays up to watch their games from Czechoslovakia or whatever. And my family only cares about my career when they're asking for money. That's it. So we zippy zap. It's from September 2010 to January 2011 in Nashville because it's time for the All-Star Game. And this, historically, is when the queer collective in Puck Boys get together for their annual reunion. And I just wanted everyone to know that. You shut up.
Boys.
They would be so much happier if they were in the universe of the Puck Boys, all right? When everybody's already come out and it's like no big deal anymore.
Duh.
I know. Anyway, so it's All-Stars, and they expected to be on the same team because that's usually how it happens. Like, regions are teams. And instead, this year, just to play up this Hollander-Rozanov rivalry, they make it, like, English-speaking, like North American hockey players against European hockey players. Oh, my God. And at this point, oh, my God. Earlier, Shane saw Ilya say on television that Boston's going to love him because he's going to score at least 50 goals in one.
You're not allowed to take notes anymore. You're barred. No. You are barred because I'm looking at my notes. We are not even a quarter of the way through this book right now, and we are 45 minutes in.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. Okay, look. All I want to say is that at this point, Ilya has scored 38 points, and he's kind of mad about it because Shane has scored 41. And now they're at the All-Star Game, and they're getting pitted up against each other for one of the challenges, the skills challenge. And also they had a conference together, a press conference together. Also, oh man, Ilya loves going up against Hollander because he's so good, and it's like actually a challenge. And he's also so cute when he gets like this furrowed brow and his eyes crinkle in a really cute way. It's just like, oh, he keeps thinking, doesn't matter. Sabrina, get your shit together. So,
you heard what I heard, right, listener? When she said all I want to say and then talked for like 60
Look, it doesn't matter. Just, so they get matched up with this skills challenge, and Ilya goes out and does the thing in 8 seconds, and then he comes back and he's like, oh, sorry, Hollander. And Hollander's like, you think I can't do that? Go fuck yourself. And then he does it in 6 seconds, 6.7 seconds, which actually beats the league record. It's fine. I love a Shane. And after that, they can't stop moving toward each other on the sidelines until they're standing next to each other, and Ilya tells him his room number. Ilya couldn't resist a bad idea, and Shane Hollander was a bad fucking idea. The worst idea. Wrong in every way imaginable. Two men, two NHL players poised to be the two biggest stars in the league soon enough. Two bitter rivals on opposing teams that had hated each other for almost 100 years. Plus, Ilya hated this guy. He hated his pretty boy face and his perfect goddamn English and his perfect goddamn French and his loving parents and his polite little manners and his $1 million smile. He hated how serious he was, how earnest. He was everything the league wanted from their stars. Ilya kissed his dumb mouth and swallowed his stupid little sighs and felt his annoying fingers in his hair. I love it.
I also have that exact quote highlighted.
I love this book. It's so stupid how much
Melody,
I love this book.
I think we need to just commit to this being a two-parter, because otherwise I'm going to be sitting here rushing you constantly.
Oh, I don't.
Because
okay.
Melody, at this rate, it's not happening.
It's only 28 chapters, Sabrina.
Melody, we're on chapter 6.
I know, Sabrina, I know.
And this isn't even the, like,
it's not even the real
stuff. That we're, this isn't even
everything in this book is meaty, Sabrina. Take it back. Everything in this book is meaty, Sabrina.
I will not.
Okay.
I will not. Like, listener, like, go read the book, okay?
Everything
like,
is monumental.
Right now, go, including those 50 goals. The thing that comes up maybe in passing one time.
It's very important the way that they're just like neck and neck.
Melody, we can boil that down to they have their own personal rivalry that they like to shit talk each other about.
And it's
you
very
don't need
important
the specifics
because it shows the difference in their personalities. Ilya will say it out loud to the crowd, and Shane is like, "That's fucking tacky." I mean, that's my goal too, but I'm not going to just like
Melody,
say it.
At this point in the episode, there is no way that listener thinks that's not the case. Even if you hadn't said that, we have talked enough about these characters for them to understand that Ilya is a cocky, out loud son of a bitch, and Shane is a sweet little baby angel.
Yeah.
Good boy, you know.
That's true. All right.
So this is what.
Also, when they start in this room, Shane is super, super nervous. And then Ilya tells him to get on his knees. And he thinks that Shane is going to say, like, fuck off and fuck you because of their whole power struggle. But instead, Shane is just so into it that he immediately hits his knees.
Scene?
And he's looking, hazy and turned on. And then he gives
I don't think we
Ilya
were.
a big old BJ. Yes, we are. He tells him his room number. Here we are.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry.
Hello. Big old BJ. And then Ilya picks him up, okay? And he has him up against a wall. And wait, is that now? I don't think that's now. Doesn't matter. Regardless, he tells what? No, go ahead, please.
No.
Sabrina, please. No, you should.
Nope.
Look, it's a two-parter. It's fine. Go. Sabrina. I'm a menace. I know. I'm sorry.
Like, no, we can do it. And then you're moving along. And then like you're like, oh, I'm not sure exactly. And I'm like,
Sabrina knows the answer. Sabrina knows.
And doesn't matter. Keep going. Even with the two-parter, Melody, we don't have time. Go.
Okay. So Ilya
It
tells
is this
him.
time though. We only have 2 blowjobs on page before
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So then he like throws him on the bed, and Shane is like, "Put me down, you fucker." And but he also really likes Ilya's display of like strength and hotness and stuff. And then Ilya tells him that he wants to fuck him. And Shane says...
No, very importantly, he has him
please.
up against the wall and he's holding him and like they're grinding on each other. And Ilya's like necking on him and says, I could fuck you like this, you know?
Yeah.
And
but I won't this time. I'll go easy on you this time.
And then they end up having little shower times because they are... a reminder, listener, this is... at the All-Star Hotel. And so, like, they can't be being noisy, especially if they can tell that there's 2 dudes in there fucking. Like, this is classic hockey romance where it's like, 2 dudes can't be 2 duding, you know?
No. And and notably, Shane puts his foot down and he's like, no. And then he says, not here. And so Ilya's like, oh, really? Okay, fine. Then we see each other in 2 weeks in Montreal. And so that's when we'll do this. Then they have shower times, and it's hot.
Yep.
And then Ilya has them exchange numbers. So now they have each other's telephone numbers, okay? Ilya is in Shane's phone as Lily, and Shane is in Ilya's phone as Jane.
Now
Now it's February 2011. Montreal, everybody.
It sure is.
We're
because he can't stop thinking about the promise that Ilya made. He's like, I'll sneak out. I'll come fuck you.
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it. And he's like, well, maybe I shouldn't. Like, maybe I could just like fuck other men. Maybe I could just like stop doing this. This is like, I know that there's not any out gay hockey players, but like, it'd be better to be a outed gay hockey player than an outed gay hockey player fucking their number one rival, you know?
Yeah.
So like, what if I just go find like a safe man to fool around with?
He keeps thinking to himself, he has to end things with Rozanov. He has to, and he will. When Rozanov texts, he's going to tell him, I'm not going to give you my address. No. And he tries to do that. And then
Ilya says,
oh.
give me your address. And he says, no. And Ilya says, haha, funny. What is it?
And he says, none of your business. And then Rozanov goes, fine, your loss. And then he's like, actually, though.
Mm-hmm. So he ends up getting a hotel room.
Yeah.
In that hotel, like a couple of floors down.
Which is wild.
Is it?
In the same hotel where everybody knows you live? Yeah, that's wild. You're the most famous hockey player in Montreal, and you put your name on a hotel room in the same hotel that the Boston team is staying at? When you fucking live there? Yes, it's wild. He could have at least gone to another hotel.
This might be other things, or maybe this is mentioned in Long Game. I am almost certain that they are using false names. I'm almost certain that Shane Hollander uses a false name when he books these.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't know whose credit card he's putting it on, but fine.
It doesn't matter. I thought that was the case. That's what I've always, or at the very least, that's what I always
That's probably
assumed.
what it is. Okay, so then Ilya comes to the hotel room, and he honestly, Ilya, when he needs to be, Ilya's a gent. He is the best first-time partner ever. Like
whoa. I have a quote that says he's a great first-time partner, but by God, he could be a bit more sensitive. Because this son of a bitch, they do blowjob times, and then he flips Shane over and is kissing down his back, and now he ends up... No, he's still on his back. The rimming comes way later. That's like at the end of the book, practically. Because he taps one finger against his puckered opening and waits for a reaction. Hollander's body stilled on the bed, so Ilya drew light circles around his hole. Just a casual suggestion. He could feel Hollander tense up. He was completely silent now. Have you ever? Ilya asked. Hollander shook his head. Would you like to? I don't know. You are scared. No, I'm not scared. It's okay to be. Hollander exhaled loudly. I'm not scared. Have you ever touched yourself? Circling his finger again. Here? Jesus Christ. You are embarrassed. Well, yeah? You don't play with your ass? It makes you gay?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God. You know what makes you gayer? Rosnov, shut the fuck. Sucking my dick. We were doing that a minute ago. Rosnov. You are saying the quiet part out loud, my friend. But also, like, he's very thoughtful. Yes, it's delightful. He ends up, like, fingering him, opening him up, and then, like, Shane
shows
has
him
a
his
moment
prostate.
Yes, and Shane has a moment of panic when he sees Rosnov's dick again, because he's like, yeah, that's like a decent, like, that's just a pretty normal sized dick. It's proportional, but also, like, that's going in my butt.
Where? Oh God. And his face is frozen to the point where Ilya looks at him, and without anybody saying anything, Ilya just goes, don't worry, it'll fit. So they end up having sex. Ilya is like really, really slow and cautious, and he makes sure that Shane has a really good time, that he's comfortable. And by the end of it...
when he's not giving him endless shit.
Look, what do you want from him? He's still got to be him, okay?
This is true.
So at the end, Shane thinks to himself, like, oh, that's why people are crazy about sex. Like, none of his previous experiences have been anything like that. And then he says, he was maybe happier than he should be that his most successful sexual experience to date was with Ilya Rozanov. The smile faded as he wondered how in hell he was ever going to experience this again, because he couldn't keep letting Rozanov fuck him, obviously, and he wasn't sure how to safely find other men to do it. And then he's once again He's disappointed because Ilya just says that was fun and leaves right away. I hated it. Oh no, I hated this part. I was like, where's Shane's aftercare? It's his first time. What are you doing?
The first couple of times that they're doing sexy times, it's rough because oh my God. There's this one part in the scene though where Ilya is doing something and he's like, wait, or Shane says I've never done this before or something like that. And Ilya's just completely stops and he's like, had sex? And Shane's like, no, I've had sex. And
no, lots of it.
Lots of it. And then Ilya several times refers to Shane to his face as Mr. Lots of Sex.
It is savage. But it also makes me so happy.
I love them so much, but Ilya, I can't handle an Ilya.
Couldn't be me.
I could not handle an Ilya. I am fragile like a flower. Okay, Ilya, you would shred me like tissue paper. I would have I'm impressed that Shane can handle it, frankly.
Absolutely. Okay, so now we jump to June 2011. We're in Las Vegas for the NHL awards. And Shane wins Rookie of the Year. It was only it was them two at the top. Shane wins. And also, he and Ilya both scored 67 goals. They ended up tying at the very last, at the end of the season. And they both led their teams to the playoffs for the first time in forever. And so it was really, really close, but Shane ends up winning it. And he's kind of pissed because at the after party, Ilya is nowhere to be seen. And he's like, what a fucking tacky asshole. If he had won, I would be here congratulating him. Maybe begrudgingly, but I would be here. This is bullshit. And then he's like, I'm going to go get some air. And he decides to go up and see the view at the top of the building. So when he gets up to the top of the building, he thinks it's totally deserted. But then he sees a puff of smoke go off over the balcony. And he realizes that Rozanov's is over there smoking.
Well, and because Shane was like, what a little shit that he I've stayed when he's won things. Why isn't he staying around while I'm winning things? What a little turd. And so he walks up and he
actually says, Rozanov, don't jump. It's not worth it.
Yeah. And Ilya's like, okay, well, he's like, you shouldn't be smoking. And Ilya's like, fuck you, basically.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, are you so mad that I won? Is that what you're doing up here sulking? And Ilya goes, not everything is about you.
Well, and it's so heartbreaking, listener, because if you don't know the context the first time you're reading this book, but the reason is because he's going to have to deal with his dad.
He has to go back to Russia in 2 days. And he's going to spend the whole summer there. And ending on this low note. Oh. And it's not a low note because he was up for the award. Yeah. But anything less than... He doesn't have it to go show his dad.
Yeah, and his dad's going to be like, well, because of that, you basically suck.
You're a failure.
You
shouldn't have gone to America in the first place.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to make it. And Ilya's like, I have 8 sports cars, bro. Leave me alone.
Right. And also, I mean, it's interesting because, so as far as Ilya's sexuality is concerned, he sort of gets explained as bisexual. But later on in the book, he says that it's more he's kind of 30% gay at that point in the book. Because after a while, y'all, he does not sleep with any men who are not Shane Hollander. When he's on the road, he'll hook up with whatever woman, but he does not sleep with dudes unless it's Shane.
That is a thing, just for anybody who's debating reading this book, if you have not already read it. I know some people are squicked out by sex and intimacy with
outside of the pair
that aren't the main partners. And you don't see sex on page, but you do definitely see
the aftermath.
Coitus. Yeah, so if that's something that you are not into, that does we do get some of that in this book, just a heads up.
But I will say it's not even close to cheating because they're very transparent about the fact that they're hooking up with other people. There are no boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah, like they are explicitly post-game hate fuck buddies.
Yeah. Except they're not. But yeah. So, but anyway, when he goes back to Russia, even if he's fine sleeping with women, he knows that there is a huge part of himself he has to turn off for the whole time he's there. Otherwise, it's like literally dangerous for him. So he's like, obviously very angsty about going back to Russia. And Shane tries to be like, do you want to talk about anything? Like, what's going on? And Ilya can't handle it. And so instead, he flicks his cigarette and then just grabs Shane by the lapels and kisses him up against a wall. And Shane obviously is like, oh shit. But then, Rozanov is kissing him, so he kisses him back really, really hard until he gets like his mind together again. And then he pushes him away really hard. And he's like, what are you doing? This is dangerous. Anybody could see us up here.
Well, and Ilya right now is very clearly in self-destructive mode.
Yes. Absolutely. He's lashing out. This isn't a connection kiss. This is a let's burn it down kiss.
Yep.
And Shane very clearly understands that. And so he's like, get your shit together and go to bed, dude. I'm getting out of here. And so they both leave. And then it's a 2-year jump.
Yep.
We zippy zap to December 2013, and we're on a plane headed to Montreal.
And then this is when we meet terrifying, gigantic, sweet baby angel teddy bear Ryan Price.
Yeah.
Who's an anxious flyer.
Oh, he's so cute.
And like Melody, his book is going to gut you because it's talked about a little bit in this one. But like you get it from his point of view. He just constantly gets traded because he's not a great player. He is there as an enforcer. That is what he does. And like he's
really socially awkward and very anxious, and it's hard for him to make friends, it seems like, from this book. And so he's always getting traded. He's played in the league for 4 years, and he's played on 3 different teams, y'all. Like, that's brutal. And he keeps on getting traded to, like, worse and worse teams.
Yeah.
And it makes me really sad because he's perfection.
His book is going to simultaneously gut you and tear you apart, and then it's going to put you back together again with a little forehead kiss and be like, you're so sweet.
Yeah. So anyway, that actually doesn't matter. Like, we only see that to set up book 3. But what does matter to me, Melody. Yeah.
It is important because we get a really clear view into Ilya and his, as much as he is a sarcastic, arrogant asshole, he is an incredibly empathetic, like he doesn't fuck with people who can't take it.
He doesn't punch
really
down.
What it is. Yes.
Never. Yeah. And so actually the reason that he ends up interceding with Price is because he's like bouncing his leg. And Ilya notices that his book is going to fall, and if it falls, he'll lose his place.
And then when he gets Price's attention, it does fall anyway. And like, there's a line in the book where it says, Ilya watches the lost place in dismay. He failed.
He failed.
Or
he let him
like
down. He let Price down, everybody. And so when Price is like, I'm a bit of an anxious flyer. It's usually not this bad, though. And so Ilya gives him his like movie on his phone and his headphones because he thinks that this guy like really needs a 4D experience or as many D experience as possible to distract him.
And then he takes a risk because as much as he doesn't punch down, he can't help but be a snarky asshole. He's like, because Ryan is hesitant about putting the headphones on, and Ilya says, don't worry, I will let you know if the pilot says we are crashing.
And Ryan giggles because he's a good dude. He's a good, wonderful dude. And he has a sense of humor, goddammit. So anyway, what the other thing that's really important is that he's giving up sort of this lifeline for Price because he's sitting there actually trying to distract himself as much as possible because the plane is on its way to Montreal. And so we find out that the last time they were... So we find out that they have been hooking up these past 2 years. It's been the same. Ilya thought that it was, last year when he pushed him away at the awards, that Shane was going to end it. But he texted him his room number and Shane showed up 20 minutes later. So for the past 2 years, they've been doing the same thing. And then he thinks on the plane that last time they were in Boston, Shane was in a super bad mood because he lost. And Ilya loved it because he took it out on his body. And he curses him as he fucks his mouth and stuff. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's worried that this is going to be the time that Shane finally puts an end to it. That's what he's thinking on the way to Montreal. And then he texts Shane before the game. This is not something they do. This is verboten. This is a silent agreement not to do that.
He basically introduces sexting to Shane. And Shane's like, the fuck are you doing, dude? Back off. He's like, hey, you want to come, do some things? And Shane's like, no, bro.
No, can I tell you exactly what happens? Because it makes me so happy.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, shit. Okay. So Ilya texts Shane, how many times do you think you can come in an hour? And then Shane is at first he's like, oh, how dare he? But then he thinks about it for a minute and he texts back I don't know, maybe 2 times probably. And then Ilya gets this back from him and he's he's so sweet and he's so earnest. And he texts Shane back, you're bad at sexting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now it's after the game and Ilya is standing in a dodgy alley because Shane just texted him an address and said, knock on this door. And so Ilya did because, hey, Melody, I have a question for you.
Yep.
What's the most banana shit you've ever done for sex before? Because this is pretty high on that list. Showing up in a dodgy alley and being told, knock on this door.
Yeah. I mean, probably something close to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't really think of anything at the moment, but yeah, I've definitely done some stupid shit.
Yeah. No, sex. Same. Especially if the sex is good with that person. But I just Ilya, you are a world famous hockey player. And Ilya does have this thought. He's I wonder if Shane invited me here to have somebody come beat me up in this alley or something like that. But then he was no. Shane's too good for that.
No, he doesn't have a malicious bone in his body or a nefarious bone in his body. Yeah, so he shows up and he knocks on the door and Shane immediately opens it and pulls him in as fast as possible because he's so paranoid. And then he takes him up to the 3rd floor into a construction zone.
Mm-hmm.
And Ilya's like, what the fuck is this? What are we doing? And Shane explains that he bought this building, for an investment, okay? But he did think after he bought it, wow, this would be a really convenient place to meet up for sex.
Enough questions. We're not here to talk. Yes. Where do you want me? On that ladder?
On the ladder.
On the pile of wood over there? In here, idiot. Hollander crossed the room and opened yet another door. This one led to a fully furnished bedroom. A really nice one. I kind of made the bedroom the priority and the bathroom so we could, but Ilya didn't let Hollander finish his sentence. He gripped Hollander's arms and pushed him back against the closest wall and kissed him. Hollander had bought them a fucking building.
Ah! I love it.
But also from Shane's point of view on this whole thing, so relatable.
Yeah.
So relatable. He's
a good boy who's breaking rules, big rules.
He's I have to fund, so I'll spend a couple mil. A fuck pad?
Yeah, cool $500K, it's fine.
For this one specific person?
That's where we're going to stop for today. You have to wait until tomorrow to hear about what happens in this in this ridiculous scene where they meet in this building for the first time. It's just, Shane is a goddamn mess. Almost as big a mess as I am right now. Oh, so tomorrow we'll be back with part 2 of 4 of Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reid. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomspodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult. See you tomorrow!